And we are live. No Chill Live. 104. It's Pisces season. Shout out to Jen Zeno. March 15th. Her birthday. Oh shit. Turn the volume. Oh shit. We are live. We're back, guys. Oh man, the sun just went down because it is daylight savings time, bro.
It
Did
did.
that
It
did that
did.
shit fuck you up?
It fucked me up a little
Oh
bit.
man, we cursed already. Sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh, we did. We did. Those are literally the rules.
I know. I know. It's
Not the
my
F
fault.
bomb. And they changed them to make them more lax for us. They said we could say shit, we could say damn, we could say all these other things. I mean, I might as well say them now.
Oh
So
my god. I apologize. My bad. But yeah, daylight savings that hit on what, Saturday night or Sunday morning?
Sunday, what was it? Early Sunday morning. Instead of 1, I feel like it's been 1 o'clock for so many years, and now it's 2 a.m. They decided to switch it over and jump it forward to 3.
Yeah, I saw it
3 a.m.
happen live. I saw it happen live. We were out the shore.
Yeah.
My sister Jocelyn had a housewarming /
Mhm.
game night. There weren't that many games played, but we did play beer pong a little
We
bit.
did. We did. I will say, honestly, that was. It's probably it's really close with Hager's game night. I had a lot of fun at that one as well, but I don't know, something about Jossie's game night. I think it was that one guy. His name was like Reef or something like that, and that immediately told me, okay, he probably dealt drugs previously,
Yo,
allegedly.
oh my God.
Allegedly.
Yo, you snitching already. You
Listen,
can't snitch
listen.
within the first 5 minutes.
I gotta
either.
tell the story. Like, his name was Reef, and this guy wore all red. Like, let me stop with the
I
description.
gotta tell the story. Said the snitch on the stand. Oh man, but yeah, we lost.
We did.
We took
we
the
did.
L.
But that
beer
game
pong.
was lit. Like, we were already turned up by that point. Sent it to overtime.
Yeah.
And unfortunately we could not get it done. He had fucking White Iverson, Larry Bird, whoever the fuck on his team. He made all the overtime
Jokic.
cups back to back. Like, he was not missing. So
Luca put it down. Pause. But yeah, shout out to Jossie. Nice,
Absolutely.
beautiful place. Great
Absolutely.
place for a party.
really nice spot.
Yeah, it was a whole weekend of celebrations. The night before, I was out at our new producer's birthday party here in Jersey City.
Hey, that's right. That's right. We got Troy with us. Hey.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for joining us, man. Sounding crystal clear over here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy belated birthday, man. Yeah,
Yes.
we had a good time. We hit a barcade in JC. I was getting eaten up in Pac-Man. I was losing games all weekend.
Pac-Man is definitely a go-to at Barcade. There's a few other ones. You got to play Mortal Kombat, and there's some other games, but Pac-Man is like the staple.
Yeah, and there was a line. There was a line too.
For Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a popular game.
It is.
It's pretty easy, but
It is.
not for me that night. But yeah, like I had a pretty good weekend. That was my Friday and Saturday. Sunday was the Oscars. Like, did you actually watch this year?
Of course not. Of course not. Why would I watch the Oscars?
Because last year you sent me a video of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. That didn't make you want to tune in this year?
No, because this year I knew that nothing was going to happen this year. Nothing entertaining was possibly going to happen. I felt like they were going to have security lined up around the stage. Like, they were definitely going to have it low key and pretty unseasoned this year, let's say.
Speaking of unseasoned, Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress over Angela Bassett. She also lost like 30 years ago for What's Love Got to Do with It when she played the legend Tina Turner. So people were really amped up. She was nominated for Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
And when Jamie Lee Curtis won the award, she didn't clap. You think she was a little bit salty?
She was definitely salty, but I wouldn't have clapped either. Like, this is somebody who got snubbed 30 years ago. We thought that maybe she was going to get her shot. It's messed up with these award shows. These seem to zoom in. Like, I only saw highlights, but they seem to have her face in a lot of different phases of the show. And they show the person that they're going to snub every single time. They did the same thing with Beyonce, Bad Bunny. Like, They just put your face all over the screen so that they can just increase the hype, get more viewers, and then boom, let down.
Yeah, it's a part of the drama. Did you watch any of the movies this year?
I mean, other than Wakanda, no.
For real?
Damn. Yeah, I don't think so, honestly. I mean, was Wakanda good? Yeah. Did Angela Bassett do okay? Yeah. Do I think that she should have won? I wasn't impressed with her performance. Like, she got killed off before the halfway point of the movie.
Okay, no spoilers. Jesus Christ, man. I'm never going to watch the movie.
Listen, if you haven't watched Wakanda by now and you're a black person, it's like, you don't really care that much, clearly.
If you're a black person specifically, damn.
Listen, we know who that movie's for. We know who Marvel is targeting with that movie.
Yeah, the Latinos with the
You're right. That motherfucker was way too strong.
He
was way too strong.
But yeah, man, the movie that really swept everything was Everything Everywhere All at Once. And Troy, like, the first time I ever heard about that movie was through you. You know, I think it's an A24 movie, right?
Yep.
Were you surprised, like, when they cleaned up the awards?
I was surprised, yes, but I was very happy for them.
Yeah, you think Jamie Lee Curtis deserved it as well, or
no? I don't think she deserved it, but I think it deserved all the other Oscars it won.
Wow. Yeah. See, I started watching that movie. It's very long. I didn't get through it. The person I was watching it with went to sleep, and when she woke up, she was like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I can't. This is way too much happening in this movie for me to explain. Like, catch you up. It's that movie has a lot going on. If you miss 5 to 10 minutes of it, you'll be a little bit lost."
I'm assuming that was not like, it wasn't a Netflix and chill type of movie for you. Like, you were really trying to watch the movie and she didn't just fall asleep like in the middle of making a move or something.
No. It was just like hanging out.
It's like,
really trying to watch a movie.
Never that. Come on.
And yeah, I mean, that's happened to me too before, like watching Inception. It's just like, then they ask like, what happened? It's like, this is Inception. They're skiing now. I can't explain how we got to this point. I barely understand. But yeah, they won every freaking award. Like, they had best actress, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, best picture.
It must have been good. I haven't not seen it, but the way people have been talking about it, I feel like I probably should. I mean, what do you think about it? Do you think that Jamie Lee Curtis, since you saw the movie, do you think she did well?
I saw like a little bit of the movie. I thought she did okay, but I would never think that she'd win an Academy Award for that role. Even the other actress who played the daughter in the movie, I thought she would be more qualified because she played a very significant role in the movie. But hey, I feel like it's politics, at the end of the day.
I mean, it was also her first Oscar.
Yeah.
So I guess the Academy, they chose between the two, and they chose white.
Listen, I mean, she did survive like every Halloween movie, so she deserves some type of award, I guess. I don't know.
That's a good point. I mean, I honestly, it's so funny. I don't even really remember Jamie Lee Curtis from the Halloween movies. I remember her from True Lies.
I never even seen True Lies.
Oh, well, she was bad as fuck in True Lies. Like, okay. She looked good.
Okay, calm down.
I'm just saying, I was all of 3 years old when that movie came out, but I saw the movie.
Damn. Okay. I believe you. But yeah, before the Oscars even started, there was an awkward moment on the red carpet. Your girl, Ashley Graham, my cousin, she was doing the red carpet interviews, and, a clip, was trending on Twitter because everyone had an opinion on Hugh Grant and his responses to her dumbass questions. Did you catch this video? And like, what's up with, like, did you feel bad for your girl Ashley?
I mean, I thought it was pretty funny. I saw the replay of it, and it seemed like he just didn't really care about the interview. He was there to show face, and he just wanted to get to his seat. She was asking all these different questions, and he was just giving these short one-word answers. Like, if you're on a dating app, this is a clear signal that this person is not into you.
Yeah.
And he was not into her interview at all.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people were like upset with him. They were like calling him an asshole and being like, "Oh, he's so rude." I didn't think he was that rude. I feel like, she asked him like, who are you wearing, or what are you wearing?" And he's like, "A suit." And she's like, "Well, who? Like, who did it?" He's like, "I don't know the name of the tailor." Like, it was just like two people. Like, he was being like very real, and she was being like very fake, which is what her job is to do. But I really wish we stop doing red carpet interviews. Like, I don't think anybody likes fucking red carpet interviews. The best thing to happen on a red carpet was when Will Smith smacked that guy. The other guy, was that like in France when he tried to kiss him?
Yes.
And then when Joe Budden walked
pattern
away,
of behavior, clearly.
exactly. And then when Joe Budden walked away from the Migos during the BET Awards, that was also a good red carpet moment.
It was.
But we just talked about Michael B. Jordan kind of being a little bit annoyed. Like, I don't even think that people there want to be asking those dumbass questions. Like, can we just get rid of that shit forever? Like, I don't understand.
I think they just have to be more targeted in who they're interviewing. Like, if this guy is not winning any awards, yeah, this is one case where he was actually going to go on stage and announce an award later on. But I feel like if they're not winning awards, and if they don't have something major or a movie that just came out, or maybe they got snubbed or like something like that, then what is the point of interviewing them other than to get this sort of response? Like, especially for a guy. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but he's probably had that tuxedo for the last 15 years.
Like, kudos to him.
Exactly.
He's an old guy.
Like, why would he know who made that tuxedo?
Yeah. I think it's just dumb questions. It's just like really dumb questions. And he was fed up. And I love that moment. I love when someone's actually kind of real. And, but some people actually defended him, but I think the vast majority, at least on Twitter, they were upset. Somebody else really stood out during the Oscars. That was Afrobeat singer Tim's, who wore like this giant, like, I don't even know, like this white veil that totally blocked anybody who was sitting behind her's view. As a tall person yourself, man, I'm sure you're used to blocking people's view. But not on purpose. What do you think about her giant ass outfit? What was that?
I thought it was beautiful. Honestly, it looked like like it kind of flowed, like the veil that she had flowed into the dress. And I thought it was really nice. It would be a dope wedding dress if you could like actually take the veil off afterwards or something. But I think it was attached, so that makes it pretty unique. But I mean,
if you were sitting behind her, how mad would you be? That
I would be pissed off. I know for me, anytime I'm behind somebody in a setting like that, I'm usually pretty pissed off. But at the same time, as a tall person and I know people can't see behind me, mm-hmm. I don't care. I don't care. I've been at concerts and heard the person behind me complaining like, "Oh, I can't see. Can you pick me up?" Blah 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 blah. I'm like, I can see clearly now. The rain is coming. It does not bother me at all. It does not bother at all.
Yeah, you're like Will Chamberlain when he saw that person in the elevator and he spit on him and said, "Oh, it's raining down there," or some shit.
No, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
No, man, I've had at concerts. A couple years ago, I had people. I went to the bathroom. It was like standing room only. Mm-hmm. And when I went back up to the stage, my spot, this girl like tapped me, and she was just like, "Excuse me, you're blocking my view." And I'm like, "Yo, get out of my face."
No, I remember the concert where we were there, and then we walked to the front and we were like moving through the crowd and everything, and the person was like, "Oh, that spot is saved." I'm like, "What?"
You can't save no spot at a concert. What the hell do you think this is?
This is standing room only. You better move your ass over. Like,
oh my God, yeah. But I think this was the first time she was at the Oscars. I think she might have performed because I didn't watch the Oscars. I don't even know why we talking about the Oscars because neither of us.
Angela Bassett. That's why we're talking about it.
And we barely even talked about it. It's like, did she deserve it? No.
I mean, that's an L. That's an L. Do better. She got to get a main part.
Yeah. I mean, I'm over all the Marvel movies anyway. I don't care about Wakanda. it enough is enough. But yeah, they're famously known for not fucking with Marvel movies. So it is what it is, man.
That's true. I mean, it's because the acting. Is it really like how much of the movie is acting versus how much is CGI or like other effects and things and like sound effects and all this other stuff? Like, it's hard to grade acting skill and talent when there's just so much fake shit in a movie.
Yeah, I get it. They tried to add that popular movie category, but they never moved forward with that, right, Troy? They didn't do it.
No, they never did it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been. I think that would have been interesting, but I don't know. It's like Hollywood, like the movie people and the TV people, they just really can't get along because the movie people, they're like real kind of stuck up. They want to recognize like everybody, all the different awards. So they presented all the awards. Yeah. But people on TV is like we need to get some ratings. We need to actually present the movies that people actually went to see, like Top Gun. Did Top Gun win any Oscars?
No, they got a bunch of nominations, but I don't think they won anything.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that either.
I still haven't seen it either because they want to charge $5.99 everywhere for it. I'm like, I'm not paying that much for it.
You can probably find it if you really put in like 12 minutes of your time.
If I did, but do I care that much about Tom Cruise in another movie? No.
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah, so, the Oscars happened. No one got slapped. I know Jimmy Kimmel made a couple references throughout the show. Yeah. Pretty funny, but it's over. Who cares?
Yeah. Time to move on. I mean, Will is going to get plenty of money in some of the other movies he has coming up. Bad Boys 4 and like other stuff or whatever. So he'll be fine.
As if anyone needs Bad Boys 4. Nobody needed Bad Boys 3. But I mean, you went to go see them at the Apollo.
I did. They were entertaining. Will kind of took over the show. Martin was like pretty reserved, which is just like not his character typically. But
yeah, he hasn't been the same since he was kind of lost his mind like 20 years ago. But hey, Hollywood, it does that to people sometimes.
It does.
Yeah, Hollywood. You know what's near Hollywood? Silicon Valley.
Yes, it is. Oh man.
My Friday, I finished work early. I went to Target. I talked to my mom and I was so pissed that I forgot deodorant. Like I have deodorant, but like only have one more left. And I wanted to buy more, right? Because I like to have a stock of things.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. That's that spoiled middle class shit.
Yeah, it's called not being poor. But yeah, and I remember like earlier in the day, I saw a New York Times notification that said Silicon Valley Bank, totally collapsed. And I was like, oh damn, sucks for them. When I came back home from Target and I read my email from my company that said that was our bank, I felt real dumb because I was like, damn,
sucks for me.
Yeah, sucks for me and a whole lot of other people. But the Fed, they said we're gonna cover it all. At first they were like, we're not bailing anybody out, but they said they set some billions aside in case things like this happen.
Yeah.
Is this surprising to you? Because I was shocked. I didn't even know it was my own bank.
I mean, I was really surprised. I feel like usually you hear like some rumblings about there being issues. We haven't even hit an actual recession yet. I feel like this bank trauma is going to probably trigger that. But I was pretty surprised about it, to be honest, until I saw some of the details come out.
What details? Like,
so multiple execs previously worked at Lehman Brothers, Deutsche Bank, some places that obviously Lehman Brothers doesn't exist anymore due to the 08-09 sort of economic crisis. Deutsche Bank, they had to pay like, what was it? Some crazy number, like $1 billion or something like that in fees because of some of their malpractices. So once I saw that, I was like, well, I mean, some things never change.
Yeah. The same people are going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to get new jobs and, 20, 10 years from now, we're going to be having the same conversation.
Well, I don't know about that. They probably stole enough money where they're good to go. But
it's never enough.
Excuse me. With Deutsche Bank, it was $7.2 billion penalty that they paid.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
Is it? I mean, I got to see how much money they made off of it. It's like the companies and what they did with the opioids. It's like, yeah, years later, you pay the government, what, $4-5 billion after you made, 30 billion in revenue over 20 years. And, there's hundreds of thousands of dead people because of it. But it's just like, oh, the government gets paid and these people, these executives get paid.
Yeah. And that is only the revenue probably from that product or from that line of what they were doing. Like, for example, I think this was with Deutsche Bank. They were lying about mortgage-backed securities or something. So, they have a whole other business in finance outside of the housing market.
Damn.
Clearly. So,
yeah, man. Some people never learn their lesson,
Yeah.
Who hasn't learned their lesson yet, man? Your boy, Tiger Woods. What's up with him? His ex-girlfriend's taking him to court.
I mean, listen, Tiger, he has a disease.
A disease?
He has a disease. He is obsessed with, first, white women.
Is that a disease? That you can't say that during Women's Month.
You about to get me in trouble. I'm not going to do it.
with your mom?
Listen. Shout out to my mom, one of the rarest out there. But yeah, he has a problem. He continues to go after these women. I'll remove the race from it.
Okay.
After women that are not at his level. They're just simply not at his level. Like, this woman was a restaurant manager.
Ho. What's wrong with being a restaurant manager?
Nothing is wrong with it, but you were previously a billionaire golfer.
Previously
a billionaire golfer.
They took his billion away? He's not a billionaire
Oh,
anymore?
no, they didn't. Whoever they didn't take it. His ex-wife, who was previously a nanny, took it. She took half of his money, half of his fortune that he built up over his storied career for 20 years. So that happens. And then, he's bouncing around trying to find a new partner. And he ends up with Erica Herman.
Okay.
Who is a restaurant manager for one of his restaurants.
Damn. So she actually was working for him?
Yes.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
There's backstory. So, I hope he can figure out, like, you can't date women that are beneath you. You just can't. Because it's not even the fact that they're messed up or anything. It's him. He's fucked up.
How is he fucked up? Because she's trying to get out of the NDA he made her sign before their relationship started. Now she's taking her to court. She's taking him to court because she's saying he promised her she could stay at his house for I don't know how many years, and I think she sued him for what, like $30 million.
He's getting sued because his team told her, yeah, go on vacation, take some time away, relax, take some time to digest what's going on because they broke up.
Okay.
And she came back and all the locks were changed. And he would not do that if he was messing around with somebody who is of equal status to him.
He wouldn't do that?
I don't think he would. There's no way he would do that to someone that he didn't feel like he could just shit on or do whatever he wanted with.
Well, I kind of feel for Tiger because, I've dated, he really likes waitresses and nannies. And I've dated a lot of waitresses and nannies too. And honestly, I feel him. Like, they could be some really good people. They're very catering. They'll take care of you and they'll take care of your kids too. So they have some really good qualities as well.
Of course.
I feel him on that. Maybe he doesn't want somebody who of his stature because, like, how many women are on Tiger Woods level? You want him to date Oprah?
I mean, nobody's saying that he has to date a billionaire, but date somebody that at least understands celebrity, understands money, understands you can't just treat me however you want. Like, you can't continue to treat me like I'm managing your restaurant when we're in a relationship. You can't just take away, like, your access card to my house. Like, you can't do that. I don't think the problem is with the girlfriends. I think it's with Tiger. If you watch his documentary, you see the things that you learn about his family, his upbringing, his dad, how his dad treated women and things like that. Like, clearly, Tiger was exposed to that, and he was impacted by that in, a negative way. That's just how I feel about it.
And I mean, do you think that he could lose this case? Do you think he's going to end up like settling with her?
Hell yeah, he's going to settle with her. It's only $30 million.
Only $30 million
to Tiger. Yeah, it sucks. He's losing face. It's public. Like, he looks bad and things like that. But if I was him, I'd be like, yo, I'll break you off 15 or 20 million. Like, just leave me alone.
Yeah, but that's why you not him, because if I also watched this documentary, and that man was not giving these women any money, and that's why they were all talking at the end of it, because he wasn't giving them anything, which honestly I think was a mistake, because you create the situation where someone is with you for the money, and then when you break it off with them, here they come airing out your dirty laundry, breaking up your marriage, and now. He can't go a couple years without his name being dragged in the mud. Ever since his reputation got tarnished, like 10, 15 years ago, like he can't catch a break.
But it's his fault. Like, listen, growing up, I was a huge fan of Tiger Woods. My family was a huge fan of pretty much anyone who was biracial.
Shout out to Sean Fury.
That's right. That's right. Shout out to Sean Fury. Shout out to Barack Obama, Tiger, all Drake. Drake, all the biracial
Logic.
Yeah. No reasoning over here. But I have to call a spade a spade.
Yeah. Shout out to Tiger, man. Hopefully, I don't think she has a case, honestly. I think it's pretty obvious that he was allowing her to stay in his place after they broke up. He took her out on a vacation. She don't appreciate that. Find a home. Find a home. Don't be a bum. What's her name? Erica Herman?
Yep.
Don't be a bum, Erica Herman. Go manage Buffalo Wild Wings and rent out an apartment like a normal person. And move on. And you could always be that girl. Start in OnlyFans, Erica. Be like, I'm Tiger's ex, but make your own money.
Who do you think Tiger's going to date next?
It's crazy because we talk about gambling and how it's overtaken sports, but you could even bet on who these athletes are gonna date. Like, they actually have odds for like who's gonna date Tiger next.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel really good about him dating Giselle. I like that. I like that matchup.
Why?
Because at this point, he's past the prime. Like, he's clearly not trying to really put his all into golf anymore.
You're talking about golf. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because it sounded bad. I'm like, why Giselle? You're like, he's past his prime, so
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm saying, like, he's not trying to put his all into golf. Her whole issue with Tom was that he wasn't doing enough as a partner. They both have kids. I think that the money won't be an issue.
She's rich.
She might be worth as much as Tiger, maybe a little bit less. But like, I don't think the money would be an issue. I think that he needs somebody who's on a level playing field. Like, if you're going to be obsessed with white women, find somebody that's on the same level as you. Next, I mean, they talk about Amber Heard. She ain't shit, so no. Shakira, I think Shakira might be second in my lineup of like possibles. Oh yeah,
because she's mad right now too. She's on a whole revenge tour right now.
Oh my god, and my girl is loving it. All the women around the world are loving it.
Oh, are you scared? Are you scared like that Shakira might inspire your girl?
I mean, I'm not planning on cheating like PK anytime soon, and I don't have any.
Stop snitching.
I don't. How is that snitching? It's public. Like, he's been out with the ex and everything. Like,
that's his new girlfriend. Okay, we don't know what happened. They said Shakira found out he was cheating because she had this special like jam that she would keep in the cabinet, and none of the kids liked it. He didn't like it, but she noticed that jam kept being eaten whenever she would come back home. And she was like, who the fuck is eating this jam? And it was the lying whore.
That is some wild shit, but I got to give her credit for that. I got in my car today, and I messaged my girl immediately. I'm like, yo, were you driving my car? And I was like, Never mind. I remember you did drive it on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go because the seat was all adjusted and stuff.
Word.
I saw like a Q-tip in the ashtray. I'm like, hold up, what the heck is going on
Who
here?
fucked with my shit?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being Tiger Woods and like having to deal with this? That's insane.
Deal with what? He listen. Like I said, I really like Tiger for like 20 years, and at this point, anything that he does to himself. He ruined his career in terms of his body because he wanted to do Navy SEAL shit. He got in car accidents, blew up his leg. He ruined his own relationships because he slept with 30 women. Like, listen,
30.
I don't whatever it was. I don't feel bad for Tiger Woods. No. I don't.
Damn.
I like Tiger as an athlete. I don't like him as a person. He does a lot of shitty stuff.
Damn, Tiger let you down.
Yeah, no, for a fact. I would not be this upset if I didn't really like Tiger.
No, I know. I feel it. Yeah. It's all good. They also have Kim Kardashian at a plus 3,500.
I don't see it.
I don't see that happening either.
No. They're completely different sides of the spectrum with celebrity.
Word. Yeah, Kim, ever since she got divorced with Ye, she's transformed her body. She's a lot slimmer. Does she still have blonde hair? I think she, has blonde hair.
I don't know what she's got. But she don't have the mash shots no more.
Yeah. And we talked about Blac Chyna last year suing the Kardashians for like $150 million. And she lost that lawsuit.
She did.
And now she says, I'm quitting OnlyFans because I want to focus on being a mother. Mm-hmm. And also, she's transforming her body. She's also slimming down, getting rid of her. She's reducing her ass and her boobs.
Yeah, taking a page out of the Kardashian book. I got to respect it. Let's listen to her talk a little bit about what she's doing.
I just want all the ladies out there to know, do not get silicone shots because you can get sick, you can die, have complications, and all this other crazy stuff. I haven't had any crazy complications since I got it. I got it when I was 19 years old. But now I'm moving here in life. So I want this out of my ass so I can grow.
The 34-year-old, whose real name is Angela White, says that the two surgeries...
Angie White. Moving on up.
You think so?
That's what she said. Listen, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's going to, rebrand.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely rebranding. I mean, she's get rid of her OnlyFans. What other money does she make? From child support?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got 2 baby dads.
Yeah.
She got Rob and Tiger.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know what's coming next, but she's probably working on something. There has to be. I think so. She's too well known for me not to think that like she's working on something to either get a show or get a podcast or something where she can help women make themselves better.
Wow. You got that from that little video clip, like for real?
Dude, she's changing her whole body. Like she built her career on her body.
Wow.
Like as not only a stripper, but then as, a model, TV, reality person, OnlyFans star, like
child support taker. Yeah, her body produced that as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I think she's got something coming out. This is a rollout.
You have more faith in Blac Chyna than Tiger Woods. That's sad.
Because Tiger, like, he's had the money. He's got a good image, and he destroyed all that shit. So
yeah.
Chyna, she don't have none of that.
Yeah, as long as she's not fighting at Six Flags, and it's all good with me. I really don't care about Blac Chyna. But I did find it significant to see her saying, I'm quitting my OnlyFans because of my children. Amber Rose months ago said, my son said it's okay because, women can do whatever they want with their bodies. And he's like 8 years old. And I think that's just a real traumatizing conversation to have with your kid.
I mean, is it traumatizing?
Could you imagine your mom sitting you down and explaining why, she needs to be naked on the internet and you have to go to school knowing that people know that's your mom?
I feel like everything is things are relative. Like if he has if the kid has a great life and he knows that that great life comes from his mom selling her goods on the internet, and she's literally brainwashing him to believe like this is what needs to happen. Women should be able to do this. We should not be judged for this. Like he's being taught from a young age. So you learn from experience and you learn what you're taught and what you see on a regular basis as a kid because you're a sponge.
Yeah.
So for them, I think it's like it'd be
traumatizing.
No, I think it becomes like this is what's normal.
Yo.
No, I'm serious.
I know you're serious.
I think those kids believe this is normal.
I know, and that's what's traumatizing. How do you think he's going to manage his relationships with women when he gets older if that's his version of being normal? I mean,
he's going to be a supporter in feminism or something. I don't know. That's what they frame it as.
I mean, if his mom's getting paid for, selling her ass, then I don't know. I don't know. I think that's traumatizing, especially for a kid to even have. I think it's traumatizing to even put anything on your child. They're supposed to be like a child, You're not supposed to make adult decisions or even be aware of, adult entertainment. So it's just like, I think it's kind of cringy that they would even talk about that. But hey, she got the okay. And also when parents, ask their kids things like that, like they're never going to be honest. They will just want to make their parents happy. They're afraid to say the truth. And it's really selfish of parents to even put things on their kids who are like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old as if they could make a real choice. And then it's just, okay, now I feel less guilty because my kid's okay with it. No, your kid's probably depressed and going to have some real problems in the future. So shout out to Blac Chyna for setting a new standard. I'm sure she'll be back, though.
I hope she grows from this. I mean, listen, if she's doing a rebrand where she's changing her body and everything, I think that she's trying to take it seriously at least.
Yeah, I mean, her man's doing a rebrand. Tyga's dating Avril Lavigne, which I mean that collab. Who saw that coming? Yo, Troy, what do you think about Tyga and Avril?
I still don't believe it. I'm still in shock, but good for him. Good for both of them, I guess.
Right? That's nuts.
I mean, I want to know like how that breakup went for her, because she was literally supposed to get married.
I feel like he just stepped in and just it seemed like she was dating him, and then it was announced that their engagement was over afterwards. So who knows? Is she older than him?
She's older than him, but not by like a lot. I think it's like 5 years or something. Nothing too crazy. I noticed in the media everybody was making a big deal about her being older, but it's like 5 years is not, especially in the celebrity world. It's like,
really, for a woman to be 5 years older?
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy, but Amber Rose's other baby dad, who's not Wiz Khalifa, he's dating Cher, and they've been running around Hollywood together with Avril and Tyga. So she's like 80 years old, and he's like our age.
Yeah, I mean, Cher is that's different. That's worse than like dating Madonna. Like,
yeah, no, I'd rather date Cher than Madonna. Madonna looks like a Thundercat right now. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Dude, Cher looks like a skeleton, like with skin on it. I don't know.
But I feel like Cher, you probably wouldn't have to have sex with Cher. Like you could probably just be around her, maybe massage her shoulders. But with Madonna, I feel like she just, remember when she kissed Drake? Remember she stuck her nasty old tongue down Drake's throat?
Yeah, he looked like he was about to throw up. Like his acting skills were very poor.
Oh, that was very terrible. Poor. Talk about being traumatized. Like she really molested Drake in front of the whole world. He's been through a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I think with Avril and Tyga, it's weird to me because Tyga went through that phase over the last few years where he was on OnlyFans. Like he was having sex with girls that looked phenomenal on OnlyFans.
Oh, for real?
I
didn't even know about that.
No, he was. And
he got a hairline and just didn't know how to act.
Hey, it'd be like that. Y'all better watch out. Watch out. No, I like being bald. But I think we'll see how this develops. I think it might just be a phase. Like this I think he's a rebound at this point until it lasts for like a year. Because literally, she broke up with Mod Sun like in February.
Damn. Yeah, I just hope they make some music because like I just want to hear what it sounds like. It might be really no, it's gonna be awful. Let's be real.
I don't know. She got some bangers. Like she's not bad.
I mean, yeah, like what 20 years ago? No, for real, like 20 years ago. And Tiger had, I mean, he has a song like 5 years ago.
Listen, I think Tyga's discography is underrated. So
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, I low key like Tyga.
oh shit.
Like I think he's got a lot of hits. If he did a versus with somebody, it's gonna be a long day.
For who? He
Um,
has like 5 songs.
he does not have 5 songs.
Okay, you're right. He has
He
has songs
he
with
got
Chris
a solid.
Brown.
He's got a solid 10 songs.
yeah, he has like
And
a
then after that, there's some ones that he could make them work.
yeah, he has a lot of collabs. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He was on Young Money. He's close to Chris Brown. I think they have like an album together. So you're probably right. I might be sleeping on him. He does have a few like really big hits, and he's pretty influential with his flow.
Yeah.
But still, you know, whatever. Like
don't
Hollywood's a weird place, honestly. Like,
forget he's got songs with like Drake too. Like there's a bunch of songs that he has that. Yeah, it would give. He's got songs with Wayne. Yeah, no, he would give people a long day.
yeah. Well, yeah. You know, speaking of Drizzy, he's finally going on tour.
Yeah.
Like, clap it up for Drizzy.
That's right. That's right. Him and 21.
Him and 21. You know, they're finally taking their act on the road this summer. What is it
Yeah.
called? It's all a blur.
Yeah, it's all a blur.
Yeah, he's not doing stadiums. I know. I thought he'd step it up to stadiums this summer the way The Weeknd did last year, but he is doing multiple nights in arenas, like in every city. He's doing 2 nights in MSG and also 2 nights at Barclays, like back to back to back to back. Which honestly, like, it's hard to do. The pre-sale started today, and all the tickets they're gone.
Yeah,
they're gone.
They're going to be gone quick, especially like you said, since it's arenas instead of stadiums. It's going to be tough, and the resale is going to be through the roof. But I'm excited for them. I think it'll be lit. I wish they were doing another date in Philly instead of just one, because that's where I saw them a few years back, and it was a good show. But I'm not really pressed to see Drake in 21, honestly.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, listen, I see you rocking the OVO Apollo shirt.
Oh yes,
Pretty dope.
Yes, sir.
But I don't think it's going to be the same set list that you heard at Apollo.
Yeah, and
That was intimate. That was like for the real ones. Like it was a little bit different than what we're going to have in arena shows.
Yeah, I love that shit. It was the best show ever. You know, me and Jenna, we were like right in like the front row of the mezzanine. Oh man, he did all the B-sides and, you know, a lot of the hits too. But yeah, I was super surprised at that. I don't think he'll do the same thing at all. But I mean, he did just release like 3 albums in the last year and a half. So he'll probably perform a lot of that, a lot of the shit with 21 as well.
Yeah.
But I think when I saw him, that was 2018 he went on tour last, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw him then, like, he did like 2 hours. It was like a whole show.
Yeah, he definitely gave a real show. Like, it was good. My thing is, like, if he has 21 as the other person with him, I feel like that affects the set list a lot.
I don't think it does. Honestly, I think 21 would probably open, and then they'll save, like, kind of like how Kendrick and Baby Keem did, you know, where like he brought out Baby Keem for a few songs like in the middle of his set. But Baby Keem did his whole opening. So yeah. I figure it's going to be something like that. I'm definitely going to get tickets to one of these shows.
Yeah.
I prefer Madison Square Garden over Barclays Center, but I love them both. And I love the fact that we get an option of 4. Philly is a little bit too out of the way for me.
Yeah.
Is it on like a weekend though?
I don't know.
Because the New York shows are all like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like
July 31st. I don't know if that's when that is, but I think it could definitely be like when I saw him with Amigos, because that was it was like the Migos came out first, and then Drake came out afterwards. They performed together for a little bit, then the Migos took a break. Drake performed, and then the Migos came back towards the end. Like I could see that. I wonder if 21's gonna just do some of his songs too. Maybe like you're saying, it'll be he opens or something like that, and then Drake comes out, they perform together, do some bangers, and then switch off. I feel like that setting could work. I'm surprised that Drake isn't doing like solo tours though.
Just, I mean, what do you mean? Like, you're surprised he has an opener?
Is that really what 21 is, or is it a concert with 21?
It's he's an opener, and Drake's gonna, just like the album, Drake's gonna do 90% of it.
Damn,
it's the truth. I saw 21.
At least give him 85. Like.
I saw 21 open for Future back in December, and he did a really good job. I mean, I saw 21 with Drake at the Apollo.
Yeah,
and he came out. They did a few songs. So I've seen him do his own set and do shit with Drake. So I think it'll be worth it. I think it'll be lit. It's all a Blur tour this summer. We got a lot of. Did you get your Beyonce tickets yet?
dude, I'm not going to Beyonce. I'm sorry.
Oh damn. Okay. Don't want to make that a topic.
Yeah. Thank you. Sore topic. Sore subject.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's all a blur. That's what Michael Irvin said when they asked him what happened at the Marriott. But we have the video. We have the video. Michael Irvin's lawyers released the video of his encounter with the Marriott worker who complained and said that he sexually assaulted her or harassed her. Well, I don't remember the term.
I mean, apparently he didn't really remember either, and that's kind of the problem. But let's listen to him talk about it first, and then we can dive into the details.
How can I defend myself if I don't even know what I'm defending myself against? They asked me, they said, do you remember this girl you met in the lobby? I work and I live in hotels. I stay in hotels all year long from August to September. I meet people every day walking in and out of a lobby. I couldn't even tell you what she looked like. I don't know. I don't even know who I'm talking about. When I'm talking about I'm supposed to do something. This just blows my mind that in 2023, we still dragging and hanging brothers by a tree. It blows my mind that I have no opportunity to defend. I don't even know what I'm defending.
Let him know, Mike.
Absolutely. To not listen to the court.
Oh my God.
You ain't have to do Mike like that.
Yo, I mean, he sounds, like he's trying to get $100 million. I mean, that's great. I mean,
he sound like he about to get it though.
I mean, yeah, you saw the video. I mean, there's no audio. We don't know, but it does look just like a regular encounter. He does touch the woman's elbows twice.
He does.
You see like the manager getting upset like in the background.
Yeah.
But we don't really know who he was upset at. It seemed like he was upset with the worker, but it's not really clear.
To me, like when I saw the video, I saw a really great interaction of Michael interacting with someone who's a hotel worker and just treating them like a human being. Like, oh, you wanted to have a conversation? We'll have a conversation. I'll encourage you. Like, yeah, he touched her elbow like a couple times, but then someone approached them and she was like clearly happy with the conversation. Like it was, they talked for a couple minutes. Like it was like at least 2 minutes, maybe a little bit more. And I didn't see anything alarming in that. Now, what was weird to me is, like you mentioned, the manager was standing in like the open area by the bar, and the manager clearly saw their interaction and was just waiting to get a hold of her. And then once they stopped talking, the manager intercepted her on her way to the bar, I assume to work, and then they walked out of the camera view. But I didn't see anything that was like egregious. I didn't see anything crazy.
Yeah, let's see what the Marriott said, because before they released the video, the Marriott put out their statement of what they said happened. And the Marriott says Irvin flagged down the accuser and appeared to be visibly intoxicated and began his aggressive behavior toward the employee, shaking her hand, stating she was attractive, and asking if she watched football. Irvin reached out and touched the victim's arm during this conversation without her consent, causing her to step back, becoming visibly uncomfortable. Irvin then asked the victim whether she knew anything about having a big black man inside of her, the lawsuit says. Irvin then attempted to grab the victim's hand again, and he said he was sorry if he brought up bad memories for her. The victim pulled her hand away and tried to back away as he continued to move forward to her.
That's bullshit. And listen, I don't usually come to the defense of people when I don't really know things for a fact, but you look at that video interaction, there was nothing in her demeanor or his that said, I'm trying to come on to you, or I feel uncomfortable with what's happening right now. Like, neither of those things happened, at least as far as I could tell. Now, if some other audio or something else comes out and it says that, I'll stand corrected, but I'm in defense of Irvin right now. This looks like complete bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know. And it's hard for me to defend it because when I first read what they had stated before I saw the video, I was like, that's not too far-fetched. I feel like
it did sound a little bit like First Take.
Yeah, right. Like, for real. I'm like, Michael Irvin, he went to Miami University, played college in the 80s. Miami in the 80s. And then he was a Dallas Cowboy in the 90s on
For
top
the
of the world.
championship seasons. He was one of the best ever.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's told attractive women to Google him as an older, athlete past his prime would do, Tiger Woods style. And I don't know. I'd say the fact that he doesn't recall what happened is a little bit alarming. And also how he ends the video slapping himself in the face multiple times, which in the Marriott statement, they said that he said, get it together, Mike, smacked himself in the face a few times. And he did admit, to be out drinking. So for him, I don't know if he said that specific thing, but I'm sure athletes be saying shit just like Donald Trump said. When you're famous, you can do whatever you want. I don't know. It's hard for me to trust these people. I don't know, but I will say for this lawsuit, it's going to be hard to prove. They don't have any other eyewitnesses. It's pretty much his word against hers.
Yep. And the other people that were. He was, as soon as she left, he started talking to the other people at the table. Like, it was just, I don't know. I didn't see anything in the physical interaction. Like, I'm sure they're going to have experts that come to the hearing or whatever they're doing, the deliberations, that'll evaluate some of the demeanor and things like that. But to me, it looks like bullshit. If anybody was being abusive, it's that manager that yanked her ass as soon as she started trying to go to do her job. Yeah, because he was clearly pissed. Like, the whole time that she was talking to Michael, he was pissed off.
We don't know why he was pissed off, but the Marriott did take forever to put out their stance. They took forever to put out the video. So that's a little bit shady too. Yeah. They had a long time to put this story together to match up with the video. So who knows? Will he get paid $100 million? We shall see.
Let us know what you think in the comments. I really want to hear what you all think about the statements from Michael, the video that got released finally from Marriott. Because to me, I just don't see it. I really don't.
I mean, yeah, their statement matches, I guess, but they had so much time to put out their statement and put their story together.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's not super far fetched. I will say them saying oh, she stepped away because he was being aggressive. He didn't look aggressive at all in that video. Not at all. But I mean,
she didn't even step away.
No.
I thought they kept a reasonable distance away from two people talking the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, could a creepy old famous man say something like that to a woman? Possibly.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And honestly, when I first heard what Marriott came out with, I was like, oh, this this kind of sounds reasonable, like he might have said this.
Yeah.
But looking at the video, it didn't come across that way at all. And the one thing I will say though is old girl, she had a little wagon back there.
Yo, you about to get fined yourself, bro.
I'm just saying, like, listen, all respect, Women's History Month, but she was packing. She was definitely packing.
Yeah, unlike Blac Chyna, who's getting rid of her wagon.
Yes.
We support all women.
That's right.
Wagon or not.
That's right. That's right. Of course. Flat butts, big butts, round butts, small butts, whatever.
I'm just going to clip that part and put it on loop. Oh man. I'm just kidding, man. Yeah, but when we ended the live last week, I picked up my phone. The first thing I saw was that Sean Kemp was arrested in Washington State for a drive-by shooting.
So crazy.
It turns out that, he has not been charged with any crimes because he actually was a victim of a theft. Somebody broke into his car and took multiple items out of his vehicle, including his iPhone. So he had Find My iPhone on, and he was able to locate his device in another car in the parking lot. When he approached the vehicle, he got shot at. So then he shot back at the car and a wild scene. Yeah. But he did get arrested. But yeah, no charges pressed on Sean Kemp.
I'm really glad to hear that. But I gotta say, media is nasty, man. Media is really nasty. The way they tried to immediately villainize this guy. Even TMZ, the pictures that they put on the article talking about him involved in a shooting. They picked the sweatiest, nastiest picture they could find. And I'm like, this is a man who's got businesses. He's opening business. He's a business owner in Seattle. He's continued to give back to that community. And they tried to drag him just for this incident with literally no information, no information at all. So I'm glad that, no charges. He's been released after being detained. And, it's just a shame how people can get attacked by the media once a story gets picked up really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, you never see those types of pictures of Alec Baldwin who actually shot and killed somebody and actually shot someone else.
Never.
But yeah, I did think it was a crazy headline. I'm glad that, nobody was hurt. Yeah. But yeah, this came right off the heels of us talking about John Morant and what he's going through.
Yeah, for real.
And, the league just suspended him for 8 games, specifically for showing off the gun on Instagram Live, as we discussed last week.
Yeah.
And since then, he's entered a mental health facility in Florida.
Yeah, I think he entered a health facility for a couple days, but he's out already.
Oh wow,
he is out. He had a meeting with Adam Silver, and that's when the verdict came down from the NBA. And listen, he gets time served. Time served. So the 8-game suspension, it counts. The games he's already missed, they actually count towards that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Time served in the NBA. That, what that means. The playoffs are around the corner. They did the math.
Of course. There's literally 15 games left in the regular season.
Yeah, I think the Knicks have 11 games. Shout out to the Knicks. The Knicks played a G League team last night in the Portland Blazers.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that right now. All right. Listen, Dame still had 40 on y'all. He's
39.
Whatever. He had a great night.
Not as good as Deuce McBride. That man looked like Russell Westbrook in 2013. What the hell? How y'all let that happen? I've never seen so many uncontested layups. The Blazers are in 13th place. They need to pack it up.
They're in 13th place for a reason. They suck. They suck. Trailblazers. Where's the camera? Which camera? This one. Y'all are trash. Oof. Okay? You need to let go of Billups. You need to get a real GM. I don't know why you gave Cronin an extension when he had not proved himself. He didn't do anything to get that job. Literally, the previous guy just got fired because of scandals. And here we are. You have not done anything to make the team better for Dame. And this guy's going into his 33rd year in terms of his age. Listen.
Blow it up. Blow it up.
I mean, what is there to blow up at this point? Nobody wants Dame's contract. He's getting like $200 million over the next 3 years.
Somebody would take it for sure, but
I don't know. Other than the Lakers, I don't know who would really be able to benefit from a point guard that's that expensive.
Yeah, definitely not the Trailblazers. So sorry for you. But we talked about Ja and his statement that he put out last week, or his team put out, and how they pretty much said like it's due to his mental health and his stress levels. He has to find a better way to manage it all. And I sent you an article from The Root that said, maybe his situation is more serious than we thought. Did you get a chance to read that?
I read it.
Listen, let me read some of it.
You read it.
This article says, the focus has been so much on the opportunities Morant is squandering and less on the mental health issues he may be going through. Yes, he made a stupid decision, but what if it's indicative of larger issues he's facing? Some may label him as just a kid who's trying to serve his punishments just so he can get back on the court. But I view it as a young man who's attempting to better himself so he never feels like he needs to be in a place where he needs a gun readily available in the first place. Wow.
So there's a lot of things to like about The Root, right? But some of the pandering, the babying, like this type of stuff is what I really don't like.
Did Ja Morant write this article himself?
I think they maybe did an interview and he had his PR person with him. He was ready to answer their questions, and he's helping them to spin a story. Like, listen, do I think people make mistakes, especially when they're 23 years old and they make a lot of money? Absolutely. But his mistakes have compounded over the course of the last year.
Of like a week, really?
Yeah, like because the things that happened last summer that never got out because he helped whoever buried him, they've come out now.
But what if that's stressing him out so much that man had to go to the strip club, spend $50,000, go on Instagram Live, and show off the little stripper gun that he had? Like, what if that's just his way of handling the stress, and we're overlooking his mental health? I mean, this article got over 700 comments, and it seems like nobody agrees with the writer.
Because it's bullshit. Like, listen, if you're being stupid, you're being stupid. It's not mental health. We got to stop this. Like, I feel like over the last few years, yes, mental health is really important. Yes, mental health is something that you have to work on, like, actively. Yes, mental health is something that you need to continue to get support with if you're dealing with those issues. But this is not that, as far as I can tell. Like, listen, I don't know his personal situation. I'm an outside person looking in.
Yes.
But this just looks like stupid 23-year-old behavior. That's all it looks like to me.
Stupid 23-year-old.
That gun did not fit in his hand. It's not protecting him. Like, it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that gun could do some damage, and it did not seem like he was in fear for his life at all.
$50,000 at the strip club. Now listen, $50,000 at the strip club, that's a shit ton of money. First off, why does he even have that much on him to spend at the strip club? Second off,
$200 million contract.
I was going to say, like, in relation to his current contract over the next 5 years, this is a drop in the bucket.
Yes.
But it's still $50,000, and it's a small establishment. He's not at like Magic City. He's not at King of Diamonds. He's not at like some of these major strip clubs.
He's giving back to the. What's up with you against like the service workers and nannies and strippers today, man?
Nothing. I like them, but do they deserve $50,000 when that club was empty, except for the bodyguard standing six feet away from him, looking at him getting a dance from the one stripper, the one that was there? Come on.
That sounds like a great time.
All the dollars were on the ground still. That's how you know there wasn't mad bitches in there. There were not a whole bunch of strippers in there because they would have gathered up their money real quick.
Yeah, but that's what he's having his private session. That's what it is.
The whole strip club is the private session?
Yeah, when you worth millions of dollars, yes. When you're Ja Morant, yeah, you rent out the whole spot, and sometimes it's going to cost 50 G's. He's living a different lifestyle that I think is hard for us to really understand. But I don't know if I blame like stress because of that. Like that's difficult.
Yeah, I don't know. What's going on with this
Yeah,
video
so
right now?
that's just HDMI.
As long as Troy, is it still going on the
Yeah,
on the
it is.
stream?
That's what it looks like.
No, it is.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
so so in other sports news, Aaron Rodgers, he went on a dark retreat. Now, he had a tough season with the Packers. And he said, he's been doing some wacky shit. Last year, he did the ayahuasca retreat or whatever. Like he was like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing, find my inner self.
Mm-hmm.
He got some weird tattoos. He turned into a straight up hippie. But now, everyone's been like, will he retire? What will he do? Before he made his choice, he was like, I'm going to go in the dark for 4 days. And he stayed in Oregon, stayed in a 300 square foot room that had zero natural lighting. I think it only had like a queen size bed and a bathroom. Which honestly, how much money did he pay for this? Because that sounds like just signing up to be in a
Solitary
studio apartment. Yeah, like what the hell? But he's done with his retreat, and he left the darkness, and he said, I'm so used to being in the darkness. I'm gonna play for the New York Jets, because it's been pretty dark for that franchise for a while. Sorry, Troy. Troy is a Jets fan. They had an interesting quarterback situation this past season, bro. How you feel about this?
I'll take what we can get, man. We need all the help we can, and Aaron Rodgers seems to be the answer. So fingers crossed.
Oh man, that's optimistic. That's optimistic. I've got another friend who's a Jets fan, and they're not happy with this. They're
Really?
not happy.
Well, they want to play quarterback.
Well, they're saying, why give up assets for somebody who's at this point in their career? Like, it's clearly his twilight at this point.
I mean, we've seen older quarterbacks, get traded or go to a new team and win a Super Bowl. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best of all time, right? Like,
is he really?
Yes. Yeah. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah, no, definitely.
He's one of the best. To me, I feel like he's similar to Peyton more than he is to Tom.
Those are great quarterbacks. So you're talking about the greatest people ever.
Yeah, great regular season quarterbacks.
You're talking about people who won Super Bowls.
A Super Bowl.
Who? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So what? It's a team sport,
dude. I don't trust Aaron Rodgers. I just don't.
Why? Because
I don't think he still has it, and I don't think he's going to be able to go from one system to the next with the personnel that the Jets have on their team. Yes, their defense is pretty solid. They have a good wide receiver. They have no tight end, and they have a running back who was really great as a rookie until he got hurt in like the 6th week of the season. Like, I just don't. I'm not super excited about the personnel that they have to put around him.
I don't know. I mean, like, weren't the Jets pretty good last year outside of their quarterback situation, which was probably one of the worst in the whole league?
Yeah, I think they definitely competed. Obviously, they missed making the playoffs, right? But
because they didn't have a quarterback. Yo, Troy, you think with Aaron Rodgers that they'd be able to get out into the playoffs and maybe make a run for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we beat the Bills last season with Mike White or Zach Wilson? One of them. I mean, the Bills are a good team. They choked kind of towards the end, but I mean, again, I think with the quarterback, the Jets will definitely be able to compete pretty highly next season.
I think they'll compete. I just don't know if, like, at this point in his career, I'm putting eggs in that basket. It's hard to judge this at this point until we see what sort of trade they actually package together.
Yes.
If they're putting a whole bunch of picks and stuff together to get Aaron Rodgers when he's probably got like 2 years left, period, I don't see it. But I hope that he's going to be good. It would be great. I want New York teams to be competitive.
Yes.
This is where I live. Like, I don't root for these teams, but I want them to be good. Like,
yeah, you want it to be relevant. So
yeah,
I hope it works out too. I mean, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he's made mostly news for saying weird things over the last like couple years, especially like through COVID when he said he was immunized to the media and kind of played them.
That was a mess.
Yeah, and he also, he was on Joe Rogan saying a lot of crazy shit too in the past. And Joe Rogan, he moved to Austin, Texas a couple years ago to save a lot of money on taxes from living in California.
Yeah,
and he actually opened up his own comedy club in Austin. It's called the Comedy Mothership. And this comedy club is made for, I guess, the most controversial comedians. They opened up with Roseanne Barr, who, lost her TV show and like everything, all her fans, because of some racist tweets. They said, before you go see any comedians at this comedy club, you should Google them, do your own research, as these types of people always say, do your own research, because you don't want to step into a situation where you're offended, because a lot of these people, they're calling it like the anti-cancel culture comedy club, where we've been to shows where they make us lock up our phones. Dave Chappelle, he started that trend. But what do you think of this? Like, I feel like it looked like from the pictures and videos, like it seemed pretty popping from like the opening night. Joe Rogan went on stage and he said, "I'm drunk and on mushrooms in my new club." So he's lit.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he can do whatever he wants in his own spot. But I think it's an interesting concept. I'm wondering what sort of comedians he's going to bring on. Like, I know for me, if I saw Roseanne Barr, I'm not really excited to go see Roseanne perform. But
you're not excited for Roseanne in 2023?
There's a specific demographic that wants to see Roseanne.
What's the demographic?
It's Austin, Texas. That should tell you all you need to know.
Come on, South by Southwest was just happened. It was they have some fun things in Austin. I've never been there.
What is it? Last weekend, this weekend?
I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I like Austin. I've been there. It's a really dope place. But
they called you Andrew Tate down there.
Yeah, I got that a bunch, 3 times.
Yeah, you should have cashed out, man. You could have made some money.
What money am I gonna make? Am I like asking for donations? Like it's fucking YouTube now, where you can give donations? Yes, give us donations while you're listening.
Yes, donations. Don't forget to subscribe, and follow us everywhere. But yeah, man, I can't wait to be able to get donations. But yeah, they said they were charging $40 and they sold out the first night. They say
$40 is a bargain. That's like, if you want to see Roseanne for $40, that's great. It's a great deal. But I'm not. I just want to see what other comedians he has in the lineup. Like, is it going to be a diverse group of people with different viewpoints? Yes, they can stretch the boundaries. That's definitely what I like. In comedy, I enjoy that, because for me, it's like, if you can't go to a comedy show and take what that person is saying as a joke, then why are you at a comedy show?
Yeah.
There's going to be things that might possibly target your group.
Have you ever been upset going to a comedy show?
Dude, you know how many bald jokes I've heard at comedy shows? Like, it is what it is. There's been light skin jokes. There's been, oh, you have a big nose joke. Like, there's different things that have applied to me directly. Like, it doesn't just have to be some joke that targets the LGBTQIA plus community. Like, it doesn't just have to be that. It doesn't just have to be, a race sort of joke or comedy line. It can be so many different things.
Yeah, it says the comedians did not stray away from taboo topics, making jokes about the LGBTQ plus community and anti-Semitism, which the audience members found unapologetically hilarious. Roseanne said, after 30 years of fighting ABC to have black writers and black characters on my show, and then having the same fucking libtards turn around and call me a racist, really pissed me off. So she's like, I have black friends. It's okay for me to be racist.
I mean, listen, there's a population that likes Roseanne. I haven't even heard her name in like years at this point. So for her to get a chance to do a stand up, I think that's really cool. Hopefully it went well, and hopefully it continues to go well. I think that there is a space for shows like this. We'll see if it's really as uncancelable as or anti-cancel as they say, but it's Texas.
Yeah, we'll see. Also at the end of this article, Joe Rogan says his dream podcast guest is Hunter Biden, and like I said that first, Joe. Like I want to interview Hunter Biden.
You did say that
before
first.
you, so hands off.
I think who would be your aside from Hunter Biden, who else would be a person that you would love to have on No Chill Live?
On No Chill Live, Hunter Biden, and then I think it would be O.J. Simpson, and then it would be Bill Cosby. That's my list. Jeez. My big three. What about you? Who would you have?
You begging to get canceled. I want Antonio Brown, honestly. I feel like Antonio is probably really, really funny. I like Kanye, but I feel like he would take over too much of the 2 hours. Like he would just dominate, and like it would be too much for us. But I really like the idea of hearing Antonio talk about some things.
What about Jake Paul? Like, you challenged him to a fight a couple of years ago. Would you want to have him on?
I think Jake is full of shit. And listen, we can talk a little bit about how full of shit he is right now.
Why? Jake Paul had a fight. He finally fought Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Took his first L.
He did. Finally. I was happy about that. It's like, geez, this guy was looking invincible for way too long fighting these freaking UFC fighters.
Yeah. I mean, it started with Nate Robinson, which, I knew that was a setup from jump, but I didn't think he'd beat all those UFC people. Honestly, especially Woodley, like, he was a longtime champion, but he's more of a wrestler and older.
I will never believe that Woodley will win a fight again.
Yeah, I think he's fighting in Dubai. I don't know, Mayweather's promoting like the craziest events. I don't know which are real. There's like a tag team.
I don't think any are real. I think that's the problem.
Exhibitions. But yeah, the tag team boxing with Manny Pacquiao and what's that? I don't know, Salt Baby. I don't even know who these people are anymore. But you know who Floyd does know. Floyd knows who Jake Paul is because Jake Paul took his hat off and actually got lumped up. Yeah. Was that like last year?
Yeah.
But Jake Paul, he went to the Miami Heat game last week and he left, and Floyd pulled up on him with about, I don't know, like 20 people.
I don't even think it was that many. Let's look at the video real quickly just to see what it is. So this is Floyd right here. He's got a few people around him, nothing too crazy. And then that's Jake. Jake also has some people around him.
Where you running, Jake?
Jake's just walking away. Jake is making a run for it.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, he's running. He's like actually running.
Yo, Floyd, he's scared. Floyd, he's scared.
Yeah.
Floyd, he's scared.
Floyd is just walking casually.
He's scared.
Leaving the Miami Heat game, and Floyd.
Yeah. So.
Would you be scared? Like, would you be scared if Floyd Mayweather pulled up on you with 30 goons?
But he didn't have 30. That's Jake Paul lying. That's
How
why
many
I say.
People did you see in the video? It looked like there was a. I've seen Floyd Mayweather walk around.
Half of the group was with Jake, though.
Really? It looked like he had the one bodyguard who Floyd was like, "Who are you? Who are you?" The guy's just trying to like manage the situation, but it didn't look like he was rolling.
It definitely looked like it was maybe like 7 to 3 or 4. But it didn't look like, oh, there's mad people. There were people coming out of the arena.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. There were just a lot of people coming out of the arena. And then, of course, they see Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul standing together, and they're like, oh, let's go over here. But Floyd didn't have that many people with him.
I mean, I don't blame Jake Paul for running in that situation. Like, there's no winning. You're not going to fight Floyd Mayweather on the street, but you do risk getting your ass beat on camera. So there's really no win in the situation. I think he already took the L from Tommy Fury. I mean, I think it's funny that Floyd's still like running up on people. Like, he ran up on T.I. in Vegas a long time ago, and he still got it.
Listen, Floyd is dangerous. Floyd is a very dangerous man. But to me, it's all for show. We've been talking about a Jake and Floyd sort of rematch fight and things like that for a long time. It's just.
Well, he fought.
Yeah, his brother.
Logan. Logan
Yeah.
fought. People get him confused all the time.
I get him confused all the time.
Yeah.
But I just, to me, it doesn't really matter until there's a fight actually set up, like fully set up, not just talked about. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, you don't care about his exhibitions anyway. Do you think? I know before you used to worry about his legacy. Do you think that this has ruined his legacy? Because I think nobody cares, and he's just getting his money.
I don't think it matters anymore. Like, how old is Floyd? He's got to be, what, 45?
He's definitely in his 40s.
Yeah, he's 46 years old. So to me, it's like at this point, he's just looking to make money whenever he can. He's been out of the spotlight for the most part. He does some exhibitions here and there around the world, but I think he's just living his life as a retired person. I don't think we'll ever really see him back in the ring as a full-blown professional boxer fighting another professional boxer again.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Unless it's like a rematch with Conor McGregor, which I would understand because it's not as big of a risk, and he's a giant name, and he's like, okay, that's the last big bag he made, and I think they'd be down.
Even Conor though, he's been out for what, a couple years now.
He's coming back now. He's all roided up now. He's like 200 pounds. He actually pulled himself out of the USADA testing pool in the UFC. I didn't know you could do that, but he makes his own rules. He broke his leg, so.
Wait, so you can just say, like, I'm not going to get tested anymore?
He pulled himself out, yeah. But they did make new rules after he did that because other people started retiring and just so they can kind of get out. And they're like, oh, no, we have to put an end to that. But they let Conor get away with it. And now he's going to be coaching on The Ultimate Fighter. Wow. He's going to fight Michael Chandler, which I'm looking forward to. I don't know what weight they're going to be fighting at because he's huge right now. He don't even look the same.
No, his whole facial structure changed. Like, he's got those super fat cheeks and stuff now. Like, not great. That is not just protein and creatine.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, man, it's Women's Month still.
That's
Last
right.
week it was Women's Day. But Gen Z and millennials, like, these polls that I read in this article, like, they think we may be taking women's rights too far. According to these results, 52% of Gen Z and 53% of millennials agree that we have gone so far in promoting women's equality that we are discriminating against men. This is compared to 46% of Gen X and 40% of baby boomers. What do you think about these numbers? Do you think it's just like an age thing, or do you think it's actually generational? Because it's actually surprising to me. I would think that younger people would have a lower percentage of saying that, because they seem like they're more into this feminist movement, but this says otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I think something to keep in mind is that this survey was also done across 32 countries.
Okay.
People ages from like 16 to 74. Like, it's a pretty broad survey with only 23,000 people responding. So it's I think this data is probably skewed. Like, if you did just the United States, I think people would really dig into the Roe v. Wade stuff and the abortion rights and things like that, and maybe wouldn't feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I disagree with this. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true that we've gone too far with women's rights. I don't think we've gone far enough.
How much further do you think we should go with women's rights? Like, what's left to do?
I mean, there still isn't pay equality. I feel like that's one of the most basic things that you could do is make sure that women are paid equal to men. And that's, at least in the United States, it's still like they get paid 80 cents for every dollar. Like, it's not.
I know, but those numbers are also pretty skewed. I mean, also because it's hard because women, they have to make a choice. Like, a lot of times they choose having a family, and when they actually have kids, they have to carry the kid, take time off. I think having maternity leave is definitely important, but there's reasons why there's a pay gap outside of discrimination.
But I don't think there should be a difference in pay because at some point a woman's going to take maternity leave. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's a difference of being promoted because you're not working as much. So it's just kind of like relative to your family situation. Men don't have to carry a baby, and men get paternity leave, but a lot of times it's not the same as what a woman gets because she's actually physically, going through labor.
Yeah. But I think that most of the time when we talk about the wage gap, it's more so people who are at the same position and paid differently. Not necessarily like, oh, somebody over a period of time, they'll make 80% of what a man makes or something like that.
I think it is that. I think it's over a period of time. But you have to look at the specific numbers. We don't have them in front of us.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good point. I mean, it's something that people say all the time, like the pay gap. And I do agree that if people have the same job, that they should be getting paid the same.
Of course.
But I do think that women's rights probably go a little bit too far when it comes to like child custody and divorce laws. So, but it's just the way of the land. Like, you just have to be aware of your advantages and disadvantages.
I do agree with that piece. I think that there's an unfair advantage when you get into the legal system with custody and family court and things like that. But I hopefully will never experience those things. So
fingers crossed.
I cannot speak to that too much. So I think there's still work to be done when it comes to Planned Parenthood and the different rights available to women and things like that. Especially, we can speak about the United States, not the UK and all these other countries like Australia and stuff. But I think we've taken some steps back. In certain states that are liberal, we've taken steps forward, of course, but I think there's still a lot of work to be done. My main thing is like, I feel like oftentimes we put gender equality over just equality for all, period, regardless of race, gender, creed, religion.
You're saying all lives matter?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm just saying that like there's minority groups that are really underrepresented and don't have a lot of the same things that the majority has, and we often overlook that, especially when it comes to the corporate setting where we put so much emphasis on gender equality, but then what's your minority population look like in your company?
Yeah, and all these people who got hired for diversity roles, they're all laid off.
They're all on the market right now. So go hire somebody from D&I, please.
Yeah, because all these companies, they're like, we don't really need you. We don't care about diversity anymore. Biden's in office, and he's gonna cover our greedy ass bank. But hey, it is what it is. I think there's certain benefits to being a woman in the society and certain benefits to being a man, but it's Women's Month. We pay respect to women, and I saw this TikTok of this woman who was out on a date, and the guy she was out on the date with, he said he's gonna pay for dinner, and then he asked if they could hang out, if he can go to like her room afterwards. And she was like, oh, I don't think that they allow it. Like, I'm pretty tired. And he was like, oh, I see what's going on. You wanted a free meal. And she's like, oh, like, I'll pay for my half if that's how it is. And he was like, okay, fine. Pay for your half then. I see what it is.
And then she snapped on him, called him an asshole.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. A lot of people on TikTok, they had a lot to say about this. I feel like everybody was on her side. The video that she took was like her like just videotaping the table. So she was doing it on some sneak shit.
Yeah.
But we talked about this before with that video in Applebee's of the man who wanted to make the woman pay for all her items because I think she owed like 40 something. He only had like 18.
Yeah. There was a discrepancy between the amount that they ordered and stuff. She had a couple drinks. She ordered the surf and turf, something like that.
But yeah, like, what do you take from this? Because women were in the comments and they were saying like a lot of times that they want to pay for half if they're not really into the guy because they don't want to feel like they owe him anything. And it's something as men we may not always be conscious of. Like, what do you take from this, and what do you take from the exchange in the TikTok?
I mean, I think that anybody that commented saying that's a respectable way to approach it.
Why is that respectable?
Because I think that's fair. Like, if you're not interested in moving anywhere past this, and you want to make that clear, tell the guy, hey, I'm going to pay my half. There's something to be said for assertiveness. There's something to be said for, just owning your shit.
Yes.
There's nothing that gets on my nerves more than somebody being like, oh, do you want me to pay? Or, oh, do you want help with that? And it's like, as a man, the first thing I'm going to say is no. But do you really want to help if you're asking me? Or why not just tell me, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to contribute to this experience or whatever. I appreciate that aspect. Maybe other people don't. Maybe every guy in the world is like, oh, I'm happy to pay, like whatever, y'all are lying. But that's how I view it. I will say for this person, it was an awkward sort of video for me because it was clear listening to the video that they were having dinner in a restaurant or a bar at the hotel that she was staying at.
Okay.
And from what she was saying, it was like, oh, he was alluding to like trying to have sex with me the whole night. And then he thought he could pay for the meal and like buy my body kind of. I don't know because we don't have any other video about the conversations or anything. But I mean, he clearly was not happy.
No, I mean, he said he was going to pay for it, and then once she said she was going to the room, he flipped and said, okay, you pay for it. So, I mean, you're right. This video is way out of context. We don't know what they talked about. We don't know what they discussed. We don't know what she was saying. Kind of seemed like a setup, in my opinion. So, I do think he didn't do himself any favors.
No, not at all. Not at all. He was an asshole. Like, I let me be clear about that. This guy was an asshole. But at the same time, I think she was framing the conversation in a specific kind of way, and not to like throw this person under the bus. But I looked at their TikTok page. This is par for the course.
That's what she does. Like she has a TikTok page of dates and stuff. Or?
No, she has a TikTok page full of her ass and her tits.
Oh, so she's kind of like putting it out there.
She's looking for sympathy. Because like, oh, this man tried to like bait me into having sex because he wanted to pay for my dinner. But in reality, like you have 300,000 followers on TikTok because you show your ass and your tits.
Listen, yeah, but Chris Rock said it in his special. Like that's a way to get attention. Showing ass is one of the easiest ways. You can't take that away from her.
I mean, I'm not taking it away from her. She's clearly got it. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, these things are tricky. I never want anyone to feel like uncomfortable on a date, especially when people take out their phones and start making content out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit ridiculous. It's hard for me to feel sympathy for these people looking for sympathy. It's just like, it's not that big of a deal. You went on a date with an asshole. Who cares?
I mean, literally sometimes you just have a bad date.
Yeah.
Like those do exist. I've had bad dates before. Like, sometimes you could really actually like this person. Maybe you're not actually trying to take them home to have sex with them, and it just doesn't like click.
Yeah.
It's like that sometimes.
Yeah, and men usually have to pay for those days. Women really don't have to worry about it. I mean,
exactly.
Even this person who they interviewed, I think this doctor, she said, oh, if women feel unsafe, it's smart to just leave. Don't worry about paying or anything like that. And it's just like, damn.
No,
like,
see but whoever recommended that, you're trying to get women killed, because there's crazy people out there that will snap on somebody, follow them outside the restaurant, confront them. Like that's not the way to handle it. Just walking away from your problems is not the way to handle anything, whether it's a person you have a relationship with, a stranger you're on a date with, whatever it might be. I don't think that's great.
I disagree because Jake Paul definitely ran away from his problems. He saved himself from getting punched in the face again. So, I think sometimes you got to walk away. But as a guy, like I have pushed back on people. Like, I'm like on dates, like, okay, I'm gonna pay for it, and they offer to split, and I'm like, no, and they're like, insist on it. And now if someone offers to split it, well, sure, I'm happy. I'm so happy. Oh, great! You should have said so. Put the card on the table, please.
That's experience talking right there. No, I feel the same way. Like, it honestly, if I'm intending to pay and I've got my card out, and then she's like, "No, I'll pay," and I'm like, "No, it's fine. Like, I've got it." And then she insists again. On the second insist, that's my rule that I decided that a long time ago. On the second insist, I'm gonna say, "Okay, fine."
Yeah, I used to be like that too, but now it's the first insist. Now it's even reach for it. It's like, oh,
you easy with it. You easy. You're like, yes, please pay half.
It's great, yo. Honestly, I've had people buy me drinks and take me out to dinner in the past, like a few times in my life, and it feels amazing. I cannot lie.
It's really a great feeling. It doesn't happen to me that much. Well, obviously, I'm in a relationship now, but still, Natalie, it doesn't happen to me that much. So I really like that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You know, Usher made that song "Trading Places" for a reason.
Great song, classic.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like women take that shit for granted, honestly, people paying for them. Because if you're a pretty girl, you walk into any bar, you're not paying for any drinks. Yeah. Like, you might pay for one drink, you stand around, someone's gonna buy you something. That does not happen for men.
It's a fact. No. Dang. We were just talking about the inequalities and whether or not women are getting too many rights.
Yeah. I know that's what spawned this conversation.
Listen, we think y'all deserve everything that you get, but don't take advantage. That's the difference. Taking advantage versus, being respectful, owning what you do, all those sorts of things.
I say take advantage. If a guy's gonna simp, who cares? Get yours. It is what it is. That's on him. If he's gonna give it up, take it. People need to learn. Just like, we need to learn new lingo, because Tinder, they put out a new dating dictionary out for Gen Z terms. Did you read this? Because I want to ask you the terms and see if you know what they mean.
So I looked at it, but I did not read the full dictionary.
Yeah, they only have a few of the terms. One of the terms is situationship. Do you know what that means?
Is that like define the origin of that word? Is that a synonym for entanglement? Is that
No, that word came from a fabulous song, situationship, on one of the soul tapes.
Fab. Yes.
Fab created this, but now it's used in everyday vocabulary. What does that mean to you?
I mean, to me, it's like to me, it's like we've been fucking around for a long time, but we don't have a defined term for this. Like, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're also not like just fuck buddies. It's a little bit different.
Word, yeah. It says describes a sticky in-between status when someone is more than a hookup but not quite a couple.
Hey,
yeah, it's like it's complicated, like old school Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, what is kitten fishing?
That I don't know.
Kitten fishing refers to tweaking or embellishing certain aspects of your life, appearance, etc., to make yourself more appealing on dating apps. Different to catfishing, which is pretending to be someone else entirely. So it's like using, certain filters and, face tuning and changing your body or acting like, you're adventurous with like CGI backgrounds or Photoshop, like all types of things.
So this is kind of like what we talked about before, where it's like, this lady, she felt like she got almost catfished by this guy who was way heavier than his pictures.
Yes. Yeah, that's kitten fishing. It's not full on catfishing. And I feel like that's par for the course now.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy, like on dating apps, it's like people have like professional like ass profiles. You have to really, really hone in to see what people actually really look like. It's not as simple as it used to be with all this technology. The last term that they have here is Riz. Do you know what Riz means?
So I feel like I recently learned about Riz, but Riz is basically like a different way to say like swag, or you're able to pick up like somebody of the opposite sex. kind of, right?
Yeah, I just learned that too.
Yeah.
Riz is shorthand for charisma. You have an allure, you're
Oh.
engaging, you're basically irresistible.
Got the Riz.
Damn, yo, you passed the test, yo. You got 2 out of 3.
That's pretty good. 67%.
That's really good.
D plus.
Pause.
Hey.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
That's
man.
pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of terms that just keep coming up now.
Yes.
Usually I catch them through Instagram videos and things like that, but it's hard to keep up with some of this stuff.
Yeah, it really is. Actually, Jenna sent me an article the other day about this girl who was an influencer ever since she was a toddler. And she's saying that she feels resentful now for her parents because her parents like quit their jobs. They just said, we're going to fully pimp out our toddler. And this has been her whole life. She doesn't know life without having a camera pointed at her. So she says when she turns 18, she's going to like go out, go public, probably divorce her parents. Yeah, because she said that they're putting money away for college, but she has no idea how much money. And they would guilt her and be like, "Oh, she would
Wait,
be like,
and she doesn't know how much though."
No, she doesn't know how much money.
See, that's
and how
messed up.
much. I mean, if you're making a lot of money from the time you're 2 years old, you better save up for college at least bare
you should have
minimum.
plenty of money, like yeah.
But she said like whenever she would ask about stop recording, they would say, oh, like, we won't be able to have this nice house and these nice cars. And this
they
is
guilted her.
Yeah, I feel like this is really traumatizing to people, to children.
I think this is worse than the oh, my mom is on OnlyFans thing.
Really?
I do.
Why? What makes it worse?
Because it's pimping out your child versus pimping out your child or pimping out yourself and explaining to your child why you're doing it.
I actually agree with you because adults are free to make those decisions.
Yeah.
And, as long as you don't put your your child on OnlyFans, then that's obviously where I draw the line because that's illegal. Yeah. But yeah, I do think it's messed up, and I see everyday people doing this just for clout, kind of just putting their kids in these videos, making them do funny things or say things just for likes and clout. People actually like traumatizing their kids, like, pretending to like, be in a fight and see how they react or things like that.
We talked about an article where somebody's kid, they wrapped him in saran wrap and they got like DIFUS called on him or Child Protective Services or something like that.
Yeah, they should have. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible, man. Do you think this is going to be more of a common thing with like social media, especially like with these kids? Because the difference between like kids who are on TV and movies like they actually have laws. Like you can only be working this amount of time. They have like child labor laws, but there's no child labor laws for social media.
Yeah, I think that it's what sounds like it makes this situation worse is the money piece.
Yeah,
because I played piano starting at, I think it was like 9 years old. I was playing piano and actually making money in church and stuff. And then I did that all the way through until I went to college. So almost 10 years. But for me, when I was making money, like my parents made sure that the money, like I took the check. I took the check to the bank and I signed it. Like I had my own account. Like all those things were mine because that was work that I did. Yeah.
Been making money since he was a baby.
Yo, you know how we do it over here. But I think that for them to make money off of that kid and then keep information about what money is coming in, all that sort of stuff, like they're trying to keep the kid ignorant and keep them like in a way subservient to them, and that's messed up.
I mean, yeah,
that's not what parents should do.
Yeah, I feel like just the identity problems. The kid doesn't ever get to learn who they are outside of performing for the public, performing for strangers at the end of the day. It's just a weird, strange scenario. I mean, I'm grateful to have grown up without social media. Like, I feel like it would suck to just have a bunch of videos and pictures of myself when I was a kid, like without me posting it myself. Like, people have this idea of who I am, but they never met me. Like, especially if someone's making money off of it. So it definitely should be regulated.
Yeah.
Would you ever like? How do you feel about like posting your kid up? Would you ever like make money off of it? Like, you post a TikTok of your kid, it goes viral, and it gets like 1 million views. What do you do?
I don't know. I mean, I think you don't know until you're in that situation. Like if I'm getting $50,000 off of one video that I posted of my kid, that's like, shit, maybe I should make more videos. Like, but at the same time, if it things change, the dynamic changes when your kid is like a toddler and you're taking videos of them and the videos are blowing up virally. That's way different than when your kid is like 10 years old. They start to really understand things.
Yeah.
And if you're not explaining to them what's happening, if you're not including them in things, they're not going to learn. They're not going to understand how to navigate this sort of environment because tech is not natural. It's not normal. And they have to be able to like grasp the idea and the vastness of what technology and social media is.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they're sheltered from that, it makes it really hard. It makes it really difficult. Thinking about myself again, I didn't have social media until the summer before I was going to college.
Wow. OG.
Yeah. And my first platform was Facebook. What about you? When did you have social media first, and what was your first platform?
Oh, MySpace in 2005, man.
Wow.
That was I think it was the end of the 8th grade. The summer before 8th grade. So MySpace was popping. Like, you know, we could put our own songs on there. You know, you had your top 8. Troy, did you have MySpace too?
I did have MySpace. That was my first social media as well.
When did you get it?
Probably around the same time as you. I think maybe like 8th grade, 14, 15.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I had MySpace, and then I had Facebook, and then Twitter, then Snapchat, then Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, later. But you know, when we're on all the apps, guys. So just make sure you follow us.
Exactly. nochilllive is everywhere that you listen to podcasts, streaming platforms, all that. But I think that's messed up the way that they because in a way they've created this huge gap between them and their kid.
Yeah.
And it's all their own fault because they weren't transparent.
They also made a ton of money. So I really don't think that they care. I think it's extremely selfish. But hey.
That kid is going to turn 18 and sue the shit out of their parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna have a whole YouTube channel just shitting on their parents once we find out who they are. I'm sure this is the first of many cases. I would never put my kid through that. I don't have any kids. But when I do have children, I don't really want to put them out on social media like that much because I feel like it's kind of weird. You never know. Like for family, it's cool, but outside of that, like, why do you need to see my baby?
Not only that, who knows what social media is going to look like in the next 5 or 10 years? Like, it could be a really crazy space on the internet. I don't know. I mean, it's already really crazy. So
yeah. I saw this article you added about Rachel Bilson. She didn't orgasm from sex until she was 38. She thought that was crazy. Now she had Whitney Cummings on her podcast where they had this conversation, and she said, Whitney Cummings noted that she hears a lot of women say they don't orgasm from sex until after they had a kid. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, as men, we're not always conscious of this. Was this surprising to you at 38 years old?
I mean, for me, when I saw this, I'm like, what? Like, 38 years old, and she's had a kid. Like, she's been with multiple guys in the Hollywood acting sort of world. Like, it's just, that's a long time. And I think Whitney Cummings, she's the one that brought it up first. She was like, oh, I didn't have an orgasm until I was like 40. And then Rachel like responded like, actually, yeah, me too. Like I didn't have one until I was 38.
It's the new Me Too movement, guys.
And just to be clear, it wasn't that they never had an orgasm. It was that they did not have one from like penetrative sex.
Yeah.
So for me, as a guy, like I I ask regularly after we have sex, like, how many times did you come? Like,
oh wow,
like
you give the post game interview.
Like, yeah, I want to know. Like, I need my report card. Like, I want to check my grades. Did I get an A, B, C, or D? Like,
oh my god,
and D is good. Like,
pause, bro. Again,
thank you.
Jesus Christ. Oh man, he said, "I want to know." You're not Joe, yo.
Like, I'm serious though. I'm really serious. I ask you. Next time you see Nat, you could find out.
I'm good. I'm not ever asking that.
No, I really do. I want to understand like what sort of happened, because the thing is with women, and you know, not to attack these women for, you know, being transparent, being open about what's going on with them sexually, but for you to get to 38 and never have an orgasm from penetrative sex, that means you've been keeping a lot from your partners.
That's not true. She could have been honest with them, and she could have had orgasms, you know, other ways, with stimulating other things. You know, it's a
let's assume they have sex for the first time when they're 18. I mean, or let's say even 20. That's 18 to 20 years of no penetrative orgasms. Okay. In my mind, maybe I'd be having some wild sex, but I don't think so. I think it's pretty like normal. Every once in a while we go crazy, but like I expect her to finish. I expect her to have enjoyment.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
That's just me.
No, I get it. I mean, you know, I've dated people who had no orgasms ever, and it's the most frustrating shit in the world. It's like really disappointing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try, and then you just get tired. It's just like, you know, I'm done. You just broken. Like broken pussy. It's not my fault. You know, I try.
Issa Rae.
For real. And everyone's just different. Sometimes, you know, it's just the right partner, the right, you know, sometimes it's understanding your own body. You know, sometimes women take a little bit longer to really know their body and know what they like, you know, and I feel like culturally, like women are more self-conscious about their body and more self-conscious with sex than men. So it may be a little bit harder for them to be vocal until they're a little bit older.
Maybe.
So I've heard of things before like this. It would be discouraging for me if I was in a relationship with someone like who was dealing with this and we just weren't compatible in that way. Yeah. And I think it's hilarious how in this article they have like a list of all the guys that she dated in the past. Like these guys couldn't get it done.
It was tough. I mean, Hayden Christensen, she has a kid with him, and
you name dropping, you snitch like
because
5 times.
I don't care. I actually like him as an actor. He was Anakin. He was in Jumper. We talked about that earlier. I really did like him, but that's sad, man. That's really
put him
sad.
out there like that. You really liked them until he let you down, like Tiger Woods. He let you down.
Pause. He didn't let me down. He let his wife down. Like the mother of his child, his baby mama, he let down.
Oh man, their kid's gonna read that shit one day. Like, damn.
That's the problem with being a celebrity. Anything that you say in an interview, on a podcast, on any sort of shit, our kids are gonna see this.
That's us.
They're gonna see this podcast. They're gonna be like, "Dad, you was wilding."
100%, bro.
Be like, man, this is PG-13. You don't even know.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, you know, it's been a great show.
It has.
We're actually gonna go see another show on Friday. We're gonna go stop by, see Bomani Jones.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Game Theory. We're gonna see the live taping for this week's show. They asked, you know, if we'd prepare any questions, man. Do you know of anything you would ask them if you know, are you going to send something, or you got to think about it?
I got to think about it. I think tomorrow I'm going to watch maybe the last couple episodes that he had of Game Theory just to catch up a little bit, see how things are going. Cause I am quite behind. I haven't watched any episodes this season, to be completely honest. But I'm going to watch some tomorrow, and I'll get back to you with some questions, hopefully.
Yeah. Ask him about, like, you know, shaving his head again, like coming home was, you know, he had the little mini fro. His hairline was hanging on. Was back there.
He was hanging on. That shit was on top of his head, his hairline. Like, back here with my headphones and shit. Like, it was not ideal. I don't know why guys do that. It's just like at a certain point, even for me, when I look at old pictures, I'm like, geez, I should have came home a little bit sooner. But I held on as long as I could. It's just you live with that memory of what you used to have.
Gotcha.
I still think about my waves back from from high school, man. My stuff was spinning.
Do you ever have like dreams where you have like hair? Because I have dreams where like I cut my hair off. I think those are like stress dreams. Like I have multiple dreams where I'm like I shaved my head. Do you ever have dreams where you like have your waves?
No, I don't. Thinking about it, I don't think I noticed my hair or like anything about my physical aspects really at all in my dreams.
Really?
Now that you ask me that, I really don't.
I always have a dream where like my teeth are falling out. That's another stress dream.
It's usually like how I feel or just like what I'm looking at that I remember from dreams.
Gotcha. Yeah. Troy, you ever have a dream when you cut your hair off? You have long ass hair.
You do.
Back in the day, I used to have a big afro, and when I cut it for like the following month, I would have dreams that said on my afro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's pretty funny. It's like a phantom fro.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been a great show.
Yeah.
Episode 104. We have a couple other things, but I think we're good, especially this stealthing thing, because that's too dark to end the show. I think we're good off of that. I put
Women's History Month. We'll avoid that topic for now.
But yeah, thanks a lot, Troy. Our producer, Troy's, he's first episode with us. He gave us some good takes on the movies and the Jets. We'll be asking about the Jets more than we ever would have in life.
That's true. That is definitely true. Listen, did we give your sister a shout out to start out the show?
I did. We can give her another one.
Okay. Happy birthday to Jenna. Can't wait to celebrate with you on Friday. Just moving on up. Bigger and better. More life.
Bigger and better. Pisces season. Shout out to all the Pisces. Shout out to Troy. He's also a Pisces.
Absolutely. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, we had a good time on Friday, and we're going to have another good time this Friday. And this is our last episode in Pisces season, so you already know what's next, Aries season.
Hey, big time. Birthday coming next week.
We back.
Hey.
Yeah. So, we have a ton of fun things. We're just getting started with the live. So be on the lookout for more content on all of our platforms.
Absolutely.
Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, especially, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch.
At No Chill Live on all platforms. At No Chill Live.
Yes. At No Chill Live. It's been great. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah. Looking forward to see you on you soon. Be safe.
Peace.